My name is Emmet Gowin. I'm a photographer. I've been photographing since 1961. And in 1980, I went to Mount St. Helens by accident. This Seattle Arts Commission was in their third year of a summer program. And this program brought 5 photographic artists to Seattle. But Mount St. Helens erupted just a few weeks before the project started. And from the beginning, I had a feeling that I was interested. I'd spent a day down in Vancouver with the Forest Service. And after the mountain erupted, it was very difficult to get permission to go anywhere near the mountain. And flying over the restricted zone was difficult. At the end of the day, they turned me down, and I got in the car and drove north, full of frustration. Until arriving in Seattle, I saw the airport. And just one of those strange moments of inspiration, I said, I better go over to the airport and see what the story is. And I spoke with someone on the desk and found out there was someone who went to Mount St. Helens every day. And he was coming back from a flight just then. And I thought, that sounds interesting. And we spoke for a minute, and I said, I've just been turned down by the Forest Service. What do you think? What can we do? And he said, may I refer to you as a researcher? And I said, fine. And he picked up the phone, called Vancouver, said, I have a researcher. We're leaving right now for the mountain. We'll be up there for 2.5 hours. And that was it. The exhilaration of it was quite something. In fact, by the time we got to Mount St. Helens proper, I had already used several rolls of film, and I noticed that the pilot was watching me. And after a bit, he said, I've got to tell you, I've come up here every day for 6 weeks, and you're photographing the wrong things. And I just inhaled the deepest breath, and I said, you couldn't say a nicer thing. That's just great, because everything that we're seeing is equally real. You know, what would be the right thing, the wrong thing? I probably made 500 pictures in Washington State by the time I made that first flight. But I was so happy to have fallen through a series of accidents into a new subject. And the subject really was geology. I think the Confluence picture was made in 1982, and airport in Kennewick was adjacent to the confluence of the 2 rivers, the Cowlitz and the Columbia. So we naturally saw it every time we took off or landed. And we're landing after an evening trip in Kennewick, and we came down the Cowlitz River. And as we came down, I saw this incredible shape. And it's this sort of a shape laying at the confluence. And the shape was so beautiful in and of itself. I thought, well, that's for me. That kind of beauty is just, well, for one thing, it was a beautiful filter system. You could see where the ash from the mountain was being collected on a sandbar or an ash bar. We don't say that, but on what we think of normally as a sandbar, a configuration of sediments in the mouth of the river. And you could see the billowing of the ash out into the Columbia, which was running very clear and dark. We left for the mountain early the next morning, maybe 6:30 in the morning. And as we took off, we came right up over the confluence again. And I took a second and a third version. And the second version shows that same sedimentary blockage of the Cowlitz River. But over the 8 or 10 hours that had passed, it had almost disappeared. And that was very important to me. I thought, oh my God, I saw this last night. Today it's gone. There's something about that in the life of photography and art making. that rings so true. Don't put off anything thinking that, oh, it will get better, or, oh, I can come back to this at another time. It's important to react when you see it.